You know that feeling when you're sitting in a room full of people. Everyone is laughing. The conversation is flowing. And you're smiling. But inside, you're somewhere else entirely. You're thinking about something you read last week. Or a question you can't stop turning over. Or why the whole scene in front of you feels like you're watching it through glass. You smile anyway. You nod. You say the right things at the right time. But a part of you is always somewhere nobody else can see. If that hits you somewhere real, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share with you isn't a personality quiz. It's not a flattering label designed to make you feel special for 5 minutes. It's something far more honest than that. Research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology reveals that only 2% of people carry a specific combination of traits that sets them apart from nearly everyone around them. Not smarter. Not better, just wired in a way that makes ordinary life feel like wearing shoes on the wrong feet. And most of them spend decades believing something is wrong with them. Let me show you the 5 signs. Sign 1: small talk doesn't just bore you, it exhausts you at a level other people can't understand. Most people can move through a party, an office, a family dinner, making easy conversation about nothing in particular and feel completely fine afterward. You can't. It's not that you're rude. It's not shyness. It's that your mind doesn't have a setting for surface level. When someone asks how you are, you don't want to say fine. You want to tell them about the thing you've been thinking about for 3 days that you can't explain to anyone, because every time you try, you watch their eyes glaze over before you finish the second sentence. So you say fine, and you go home feeling lonelier than before you arrived. The villain here isn't the people around you. It's the story you've been told your entire life that the way you need conversation to feel alive is too much. Too intense. Too exhausting for other people to handle. It isn't too much. It's just rare. The part nobody talks about: your relationship with being alone. Here's the midpoint truth that people with this personality almost never say out loud. You don't just tolerate being alone, you need it the way other people need food. But here's where it gets complicated. Being alone and being lonely are not the same experience for you. You've been in a crowded room and felt completely invisible. You've been alone in a quiet place. Just you and your thoughts and maybe the sound of rain. And felt more connected to something real than you have in months of social interaction. That paradox confuses people around you. They see someone who is warm and deeply empathetic when present, and then disappears for days without explanation. They don't understand that you're not withdrawing from them, you're returning to yourself. Solitude isn't your punishment, it's your restoration. The problem is that a world built for extroverts taught you to feel guilty for needing it. And that guilt has cost you years. Sign 2: your brain won't let you accept things at face value ever. You've replayed a 2-second conversation from 3 years ago at least 40 times and still can't decide if you said the wrong thing. You watched a film everyone else called entertaining and spent the drive home dissecting what the ending actually meant about the human condition. You heard a rule, a social norm, an assumption everyone treats as obvious. And your first instinct wasn't to follow it, it was to ask why. This isn't overthinking, this is pattern recognition operating at a level most people's brains simply don't run at. Your mind doesn't accept the first answer, it searches for the 10th answer. The one no one else thought to look for. The cost of this is that your mind never truly rests. The gift is that you see possibilities where others see dead ends. Every major breakthrough in history came from someone whose brain refused to stop at the obvious answer. Your restlessness isn't a disorder, it's how progress actually gets made. Sign 3: uncertainty doesn't break you, it's where you actually think clearly. Most people need to know the answer before they can move, they need the path defined. The outcome guaranteed. The risk removed. You're different. You can sit with an open question for weeks, even months, turning it over from different angles without needing to force a conclusion before you're ready. This isn't indecision, this is what psychologists call a high tolerance for ambiguity. and it's extraordinarily rare. You can hold two contradicting ideas at the same time and understand that both might be true depending on context. You don't need life to be black and white. You've always known somewhere deep that the most important things are gray. The world calls this unpredictable. What it actually is nuanced. And nuance is the thing most people are too uncomfortable to sit with long enough to understand. Sign 4: you live a second life inside your own head that most people will never see. You've spent entire afternoons inside a thought, not daydreaming, not zoning out, actually working something through in your mind with the kind of focus other people reserve for things they can touch and see. You've built entire conversations in your head before having them. Solved problems that didn't exist yet. Created worlds. Scenarios. Arguments. Stories all in the space behind your eyes while someone across from you thought you were simply quiet. This inner life isn't a distraction from reality, it's a deeper layer of it. Your creativity lives there. Your intuition develops there. Your most original thinking begins there. The tragedy is that other people can't see it. So they call you distant. They call you mysterious. They wonder where you go. But you're not gone, you're more present in your own world than most people ever learn to be in theirs. Sign 5: you've never quite fit anywhere. And somewhere along the way you made peace with that. You've moved through different groups. Tried on different versions of yourself. Adapted your edges to fit the shape of whatever room you were in. And you've always been able to connect genuinely and warmly with people from completely different worlds. But underneath all of it, there has always been this quiet awareness that you're watching from a slightly different angle than everyone else, that you care about things they don't prioritize. That you're moved by things that leave others untouched. For a long time, you treated this as a flaw. You spent years asking yourself why you couldn't just be simpler. Why you had to feel everything so deeply. Why the path that worked for everyone else never quite fit when you tried to walk it. The villain was never you. The villain was the version of yourself you kept trying to become, just to make other people more comfortable. The moment you stopped apologizing for the way you're built is the moment everything starts to shift, not because the world changes, but because you stop wasting energy fighting your own nature. The secret: here's what ties all 5 of these together. You've spent most of your life being told directly or indirectly that the way you are is a problem to be managed. Too sensitive. Too deep. Too much in your head. Too hard to read. Too intense for ordinary conversation. But look at what those traits actually are when you strip away the shame someone else attached to them. Depth. Curiosity that never quits. The ability to sit with complexity without needing to simplify it. A rich inner world that generates ideas most people can't access. An authentic self that refuses to fully disappear even when life pressures it to. These aren't flaws, these are the exact traits that produce the people who change things. The researchers who asked the question no one thought to ask. The artists who make the thing that makes a stranger feel less alone. The thinkers who hold a problem long enough and quietly enough to find the answer hidden inside it. The world doesn't need more people who are easy to understand. It needs more people who are willing to be exactly what they are. You've always been one of those people. You just kept apologizing for it. Stop. If you recognized yourself in these 5 signs, you're not broken. You never were. The question was never whether you have this rare personality. The question is, what happens when you finally stop treating it like something that needs to be fixed? Drop a comment and tell me which of the 5 hit closest to home. And if someone in your life has always felt like they were watching from the outside, quietly, without being able to explain why, share this with them, not as an explanation, just as proof that they're not alone.